Hey guys, this is Dave. Doing two videos in one. Post-game reaction to Game 3 and pre-game analysis going into Game 4. Pretty much all I gotta say really for Game 3 was I was not very surprised given the way the first two games went. My prediction for the scoring was pretty off, I gotta say. But yet again, LeBron did literally everything he could do as much as possible, and then his supporting cast just couldn't do shit. That's not to say Kyrie Irving didn't have a good game. But, you know, some of the other guys just didn't have even an okay game. Like Kevin Love had less than 10 points. Yeah, he had 13 rebounds and 3 steals, but you need to score too. Like if you're part of that big three in Cleveland, if you're not scoring, which is what they really need out of everyone, what are you really doing? Like, you could grab as many rebounds as you want, but if you're not making shots, it doesn't fucking matter. That's the bottom line, honestly. Smith played a bit better, had 16 points and 2 steals, but also had 4 turnovers. Not really much to say about that. He played almost 40 minutes, only 16 points. Really? That's not that great. It's better, but still pretty garbage if you ask me. And Kyrie Irving had 38 points and 6 rebounds. But he also had 2 turnovers. LeBron had 39 points, 11 rebounds, but 5 turnovers. And yeah, like I said, the rest of the guys, outside of the starters, did absolutely nothing. Like, literally, if the bench had even a few more points, they could have beat the Warriors last night. Because they only lost by 5, the entire bench, mind you, the entirety of Cleveland's bench, only gave them 10 points total. So let's go into the actual, specifics of that. Shumpert only had, he had no points. He went scoreless. Korver had 1 3. Jefferson had no point. Actually, excuse me, I read that wrong for a second. Shumpert did have 2 points. Korver had 8 points. Richard Jefferson had 1 fucking point. And Williams had no points. So I'll scratch that. They scored 11 off the bench, but that's fucking garbage for any bench. I don't care who you are. Especially in the finals. Like, are you serious? You can do a lot better than that. Getting absolutely nothing from that bench. Get 6 more points from that bench. Duran hits 2 threes. Boom. They win the fucking game. Right there. Easier said than done. And, hindsight is 20/20. But you look at it right there. Williams hits 2 threes. Boom. Win by 1. It's not a great win, but it's a win nonetheless. You know what I mean? So I wasn't really, what should I say, disappointed, I guess would be the word, that they won and that Cleveland lost. Because the way the first two games went, I didn't expect the bench to give them much. I had a hope that they would do better, but they just didn't show up. And there was literally nothing else they could have done. Because fourth quarter, LeBron had so many different responsibilities. Running the offense through him, defending Kevin Durant. You know, the switches that they had from the Warriors being so switch heavy. It just really gassed them. And then there was no one to come off the bench once he was on the bench to help him out a little bit. Kevin Durant had 31 points and 9 rebounds to go along with 4 assists, 1 steal, and 1 block, but he also had 3 turnovers. Draymond Green only had 8 points, 8 rebounds and 7 assists, but he also had 4 turnovers and 5 personal fouls, almost fouled out. Pachulia went absolutely scoreless. Pretty much didn't do shit other than honestly foul and turn the ball over. He had 4 turnovers, 4 personal fouls, and only 1 rebound. It's garbage. Klay Thompson had 30 points to go along with 5 rebounds, 2 assists, 1 turnover, and 4 blocks. There are 4 personal fouls. I read that wrong. Sorry about that. Curry had 26 points, 13 rebounds, 6 assists, 1 turnover, 2 steals, and 3 personal fouls. JaVale McGee had 1 point and didn't do much else outside of that. Iguodala had 7 points to go along with 5 rebounds and 5 assists, as well as 2 turnovers, 4 steals, 1 block, and 3 personal fouls. So this stat line was all over the fucking place. Good and bad with the personal fouls and turnovers, but also the steals on the block. And the only other player that made a decent contribution from the bench was David West with 7 points. And that's pretty much all that they did. So that's the Game 3 part of it. Game 4, basically with how Game 3 ended and finished, I guess I could say. I don't expect Cleveland to win this game whatsoever. Even after having their best game of the series and for the most part putting everything together, with the exception of the bench, of course, they still couldn't win and get their shit together. So I don't know, man. I'm thinking maybe it might be a sweep. I hope not, but it's looking like it's going to be a sweep. And even with, I don't know if you guys heard about it, the antics that Curry had toward the end of Game 3. He basically squatted on the court in Cleveland, like, basically saying that he was shitting all over Cleveland's, being very disrespectful. I'm tired of his fucking antics. Like, he's one of the most cocky players. That's also why I'm rooting for the Cavaliers. Not that I'm a bandwagon or anything. I'm actually a Heat fan. They were 11-30, going into the first half, 30-11. You guys know the story. And still missed the playoffs by one game because the Bulls had the tiebreaker. But that's neither here nor there. Basically, what I'm saying is, I'm tired of Steph Curry and the Warriors being super cocky. Yes, the Cavs have been cocky before, but LeBron never did any shit like that. Like, the closest thing he had to that was when he blocked Curry after Curry was talking all that hot shit. In Game 7, the famous block. And he just looked at him like, I'm still the best player in the league. Get that shit out my house. Who you think you are? Kind of shit. And I thought that was pretty cool. I thought that was a really big statement on that game. But I don't see any of that shit happening. I don't see the Cavaliers coming back in the series. I don't see any of that. That bench has done absolutely nothing. I think in order for the Cavs to win, honestly, the only key I could give for that, LeBron would have to go like Game 6 Boston. I said this probably last video too. He would have to go Game 6 Boston levels of, style, level of play from 2012. When he just absolutely obliterated Boston in TD Garden. He had the 46 points and 15 rebounds and I think it was 9 assists, something like that. He had a monster game that game. He would have to have something like that. He would have to have a good, 40-something points, I would think. Have Kyrie score about 40. And have Kevin Love score probably about 25. And then have either the rest of the starters do fairly well, or the bench show up a lot better than they have been. Say about 20 to 25 bench points at the very least. And then they would have to completely shut down Kevin Durant, and I do not see that happening whatsoever. And, of course, they'd have to have the Warriors miss a couple shots, too. And given the way their defense is played, that's just not realistic. So, I don't see the Cavs winning this game whatsoever. I hope I'm wrong. I really hope they pull it out, because I cannot deal with the arrogance that some Warriors fans have and the overall attitude that some of the bandwagons have had, that they think they're the best team ever assembled. I'm pretty sure the 96 Bulls would shit all over that team and just bully ball the fuck out of them. But who am I to say? I'm just a kid on YouTube, just, talking about various things in basketball and, giving my 2 cents. But I never played even in a rec league for basketball, so who am I to say? Necessarily. But anyways, I'm going to give the scoring prediction, and after that I'm going to head out and watch the game, because I'm a fucking masochist. Not really, but, sarcastically joking, obviously. Because I'm hoping there's like a 0.5% chance that they pull it out. Like I said, I really don't think that's going to happen. I'm going to watch it anyway, regardless, just to see the outcome. I watch every single finals game, regardless of who's playing, regardless of the matchups. I don't give a shit about any of that. I just watch. I'll watch the whole thing. Sweep, Game 7, I don't give a fuck. I'll watch it no matter what. So, for the score in this game, I'm going to have to say Warriors 120, Cavs 100. Hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.